Hello everyone, welcome to a new math session. In this session we'll be learning about factorizing the perfect square trinomial. In the perfect square trinomial, we find that each of the first and the third terms is perfect square and they're always positive. The middle term is positive or negative, the product of 2 times the square root of the first term multiplied by the third term. And also, the factorization will be bracket square root of the first term plus or minus square root of the third term all squared. If you want to find the first term, it's equal to the division of the middle term squared by 4 times the third term. Same thing if you want to find the third term. So it's the quotient of the middle term squared divided by 4 times the first term. Let's go to the factorization example and see how can we factorize this trinomial. If you can see that to factorize this trinomial, we do it as the square root of the first term. If this sign is minus, so it will be minus the square root of the third term all squared. So it's 3x minus 5 all squared. Question 2. The square root of L power 4 is L power 2. This sign is plus, so it is plus. The square root of the third term is 7m, and then all to the power of 2. To factorize this in number 3, the square root of 25x squared is 5x. This sign is minus, so it's minus. The square root of 9 is 3, and then all squared. And remember that before you factorize, the first thing you look for is the highest common factor. For question 4, the square root of m squared is m. This sign is plus, so it becomes plus. The square root of 4 is 2, and then all to the power of 2. Question 5, same thing, same idea with different numbers. Yes, excellent. It's 7a. Good job. Plus, wow, you guys are awesome. 5b squared, and then all to the power of 2. In number 6, as I told you, look first for the GCF or the HCF. The HCF here is 5x. So first, we factorize by the HCF. So here this is x squared plus 10x plus 25. After that, leave this outside. Factorize this, the square root of x squared, which is x, plus the square root of 25, which is 5, and then all squared. Let's move to another type of question, which is complete each of the following to be a perfect square. Here in number 1, we're missing the middle term. How do we find the middle term? To find the middle term, it is positive or negative 2 times the square root of the first term times the square root of the third term. So it's positive or negative 2 times 7x times 5. If you do your calculations, the middle term will be either positive or negative 70x. Question 2 is also waiting and looking for the middle term. So to find the middle term is positive or negative 2 times square root of the first term times square root of the third term. So it's positive or negative 2 times 4a times 1. So the middle term is positive or negative 8a. For question 3 here, it's looking for the third term. To find the third term, it is the middle term squared divided by 4, and it's always 4, multiplied by the first term. So if you do your calculations, it's 3600 x squared divided by 100 x squared. So in this case, the third term is 36. So here, this is 36. Question 4. Here we're looking for the first term. So we know that the first term equals the middle term squared divided by 4 times the third term. If you simplify this, it's 144 x squared y squared divided by 36 y squared. Y squared and y squared are crossed out together, so the result here is 4x squared. So the missing part here is 4x squared. And now, with another type of question, is to find the positive value of c that makes this trinomial a perfect square. For question 1, the question here has c in the middle term. So for you, in order to be able to find the middle term is positive or negative 2 multiplied by square root of the first term multiplied by square root of the third term. So it's positive or negative 2 times x times 5. So the question here says it's positive or negative 10x. As long as it's cx, so c is positive or negative 10. But here, in the head of the question, it says find the positive value of c. For the question says that c is positive, so we're going here to erase the negative. So in this case, cx is 10x, so c is equal to 10. Question 2, c is located in the first term. To find the first term, so we say that c squared y squared equals, how to find the first term? Excellent! The middle term, all squared, divided by 4 times the third term. If you do your calculations, it's 8100 y squared divided by 4 times 81. If you do your calculations, it is 25y squared. So c squared y squared is 25y squared. So the c squared is 25. So the c as it's positive 5. Question 3. The question again wants us to find c. c here is located as the third term. So to find the third term, it's the middle term squared divided by 4 times the first term. For you to find this, you will see that it's equal to 9. So c in this case equals 9. For question 4, c is located in the middle term. The middle term equals positive or negative 2 times the square root of the first term times the square root of the third term. So cx, which is the middle term, equals 2 times x times 4, which is 8x. Why did we remove the positive or negative? Because the question says that c is a positive value. So c equals 8. Question 5, how can we find C? C here is in the third term. So to find the third term, it's the middle term all squared divided by 4 times the first term. So it's 196x squared divided by 4x squared. So it is 49. So C in this question has a value of 49. And now it's the time for you, dear students, to check your understanding. When we come to the evaluation part, it's time for you to solve on your own. So now when you see the questions, answer them on your own and then play the video again to check your answer. Find the positive value of K is the same idea of finding the positive value of C. For question 1, Kx is in the middle term. So I'm not going here to write positive or negative 2 because the question says it's a positive value. So it's 2 times square root of the first term times square root of the last term. So it's 2 times 6x times 1, which is 12x. So for this one, K equals 12. For question 2, Ky is in the middle term. So Ky equals, this is the middle term, right? Same thing, 2 times square root of the first term times square root of the last term. So this is 80y. So Ky equals 80y. Then automatically K equals 80. Question 3. Here K is the third term. To find the third term, it is the middle term squared over 4 times the first term. So K equals x squared divided by 16x squared. So it is 1 over 16. Question 4. K is the last term again. So the last term equals the middle term all squared divided by 4 times the first term. So it's 144 L squared over 36 L squared. So K equals 4. Now in question 2, to choose the correct answer, K here is in the middle term. So here it did not tell us that K is a positive or a negative value. So to find the middle term, it's positive or negative 2 times square root of the first term times square root of the second term. So the middle term here is positive or negative 10x. So as long as it's Kx, so K equals positive or negative 10. For question 2, if the expression x squared plus 14x plus b is a perfect square, how can we find b? B is the third term. To find it, it is the middle term all squared divided by 4 times the first term. So 14x all squared is 196x squared divided by 4x squared. The result, which is the value of b, is 19. So here the answer is choice D. At this time, dear students, we came to the end of our session. Thank you very much and wishing you best of luck.